Hey everyone, I hope you are having a wonderful day so far. I am just dropping this special little clip into all the episodes. So, no matter what episode you're listening to, this is actually pretty current as of July 2024. I wanted to come on here and just say a big thank you to Earworthy because the Life Shift podcast was just named the best overall podcast of the year in the first Earworthy Independent Podcast Awards. And you've probably seen some articles written about the Life Shift podcast before, written by Earworthy. And now he is launching from his online publication, he is launching these yearly winners of independent podcast awards. And these are specifically for indie podcasters. We are those that wear all the hats. We create the show. Some people write the show. We're producers, sound engineers. We troubleshoot all the tech. We do any kind of research if we need to. We host the shows. We distribute the shows. We do all the things that relate to our shows because we love it. And it's so nice to see my name in a list with some other amazing podcasts like Multispective, which won Best Life Lessons Podcast. Salad with a Side of Fries won Best Health Podcast. Bippity Boppity Business won Best Business Advice Podcast. And there are so many more. And so I just want to come on here and say thank you to Earworthy for not only doing these awards every year and just honoring some of us indie podcasters that sometimes feel like we're just shouting into the void, but we're not. We're just doing what brings us joy, and hopefully through that work it brings other people joy. In my case, for the Life Shift, I hope that each episode finds the ears that needed to hear it the most so that they feel a little less alone in their circumstance. But also, Earworthy writes all these amazing publications pretty much weekly, every week, every weekday, I should say, where he writes on Blogger, Medium, Substack, Tumblr, Vocal, Many Stories, and for other places. And he really just highlights the independent podcasters. So thank you, Frank, for everything you do with Earworthy and for recognizing all of us in the first Earworthy Independent Podcast Awards. If you'd like to read more, please head to medium.com/EAR hyphen WORTHY. Thanks again and enjoy this episode. Hello, my friends. The following is just a teaser for the bonus episode on the Patreon feed. So please check out the Patreon page. The link is in the show notes. I hope you'll come join us. Thanks again. This is the Life Shift Podcast, and these are the bonus episodes for our special Patreon page. Hello, my Patreon friends. Here we are with another bonus episode. And as a reminder, I'm talking to former guests of the Life Shift podcast. And today is my friend Rachel. Hey, Rachel.
Hi.
It's nice to see you again and nice to have you back. You were so early in the Life Shift podcast journey that it's been a while.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be back.
So, as you know, I'm just going to kind of talk about any kind of feelings or things that happened after we had our conversation and released the episode. And just as a reminder to the people listening, you were episode 9 and you took us on a journey, and your life, you're still, kind of working through that journey. But your story was about when you lost your husband, Matt, and how you were able to find a new normal with your daughters and continue honoring your husband, which I think was the most impactful for me of your story, was what you do regularly to remind your daughters and remind yourself of the journey that you were on with your husband, Matt. So, that's just a brief recap of what your episode was about. Saying that, how did you feel after we pressed stop, after we stopped talking about kind of recording your story?
For me, it's weird. It's almost cathartic in a way to share what has happened to us for not only I think myself, but also I have friends who will always listen to my story any way I tell it. So I think personally for me, it's, I will talk about my story as much as I can, because just like you said, it also helps me keep Matt here. Like and it helps me remember those little things from just before that day, on that day, like, little moments that have happened that kind of drop off on the spectrum, like as life continues, and I genuinely, like, I think sometimes people don't know what to say to me or don't know and I'm like, no, please, like, I will tell you the story again. Like, I want to talk about him. I want to talk about what happened, because sometimes I feel like I'm still living in a bit of a fog. And when I say it again, I'm like, oh my gosh. Or like each time I say it, I'm like, oh, I can't believe that happened, or, something like that. So I genuinely feel good, and also get a chance to kind of reflect and like honor Matt each time I talk about it.
And that was just a little clip of my conversation for our bonus episode. So if you're interested in kind of joining in on the party over at Patreon, please check out the link in the show notes and we'll see you there. And there will be a new episode on Tuesday next week.